Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. I'm doing well. And we're going to get into a reaction video or two. I'm going to probably do a couple short videos and merge it into one. And we're going to react today. It's called, the channel we're reacting to is called Improvement Pill. So shout out to that channel. And this says, what is meditation? Why there's so many benefits. So we're going to watch this one first, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to put on another one, another short one from the same channel. So let's go. Let's get into it.
Meditation is a practice that's been around for thousands and thousands of years. Yet there's still a huge misconception about what it really is. Most people like to associate meditation with a monk sitting on top of a mountain, cross-legged, staring into the horizon. But in reality, it's actually something that everyone can do and everyone can benefit from. There's even been hundreds of studies that prove this. Here's some of the benefits, and there's links to the sources and studies in the description below. To understand what meditation really is, we have to look at our own lives first. There's something that we're doing every single day for the majority of the day. We're thinking. We're always thinking. Best-selling author Eckhart Tolle even goes as far to say that humans are addicted to thinking. Try to stop thinking right now for just 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty cool if you think about that, because a big part of meditation is actually allowing the thoughts. In the beginning, you allow the thoughts to come naturally, and eventually you get to the point where you're allowing them to come in and out so frequently that you start having less of them and less of them until you can get into deep meditation, which is when the thoughts aren't coming anymore. It's not that you're blocking them out. That's not what it is. You've allowed them to come in so much and for so long that now the flow of information is almost slowed down to the point where it feels like it's stopped completely, and you attain true emptiness. That's when you realize, wow, I'm the observer of my reality. I'm the observer of my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. I am beyond that. I am something that notices my thoughts. So that's a consciousness. Like, that's the soul. Okay, that's why we're spiritual, because the spirit is like a soul. But in my religion, Christianity and Catholicism, the soul and the spirit, I believe, are different, two different distinct things, because you can have the Holy Spirit and be of the Holy Spirit, but that's not your soul. Your soul is, like, my name is Josh Dutczak. My soul is Josh. I am Josh, the soul, not this fleshly vessel that's talking to you right now, but the idea, the thought, the observer that is creating these words being projected. It gets pretty deep, but yeah, let's get into this.
Chances are, unless you've been practicing meditation for a while, you had at least a couple of thoughts pop into your mind during this brief period of time. You might say, well, thinking isn't a bad thing, it's good. We need to think in order to survive, don't we? Well, that's true, but only to some extent. If you really sit down and take a look at it, the large majority of your thinking isn't as useful as you think it is. A lot of it is actually quite negative. Just to prove a point, I took the privilege and sat down with a pen and paper for 5 minutes and recorded as many of my thoughts that I could. I had a total of a whopping 2 thoughts that I would consider to be either positive or constructive, while on the other hand, I had a total of 11 thoughts that I would consider to be negative and not constructive at all.
That sounds like a you problem, bro. I'm the inverse of that, so that's proof everybody's different. But yeah.
Also have a direct correlation with how you feel. For example, let's say that you're at a party and the following thought pops into your mind. What am I doing with my hands? I should be talking to people. Am I being awkward? And all of a sudden, you're feeling anxious. Another example. Let's say that you're on the train and somebody steps on your shoe by accident. You start thinking, he didn't even say sorry. How dare he? What an asshole. And all of a sudden, you're feeling angry. So we know that we think a lot. And we also know that most of our thoughts are either negative or not constructive. And finally, we know that our thoughts can affect how we feel. So you can see how we came to the
But you know what? I might have been a little more like this, the way he's describing it. I might have been like that during my drug addiction in the past. But I'm coming up on 7 years clean, thank God. Knock on wood. Let's keep going. But yeah, man, it just I might have been like that, and maybe getting clean, and also getting clean, meditation, eating clean, getting sunlight, walking, jogging, running, training mixed martial arts, pushing yourself, making these videos. These are all things that are going to help you, good things, you know what I mean? So it's about doing that. The more you implement good things and productive things, the more you're going to have good and productive thoughts. Your life mirrors your thoughts, and your thoughts mirror your life. So if you don't like it, change it. You have the power.
Conclusion that thinking too much might just make you feel crappy sometimes. Now, what does thinking have to do with meditation? Well, there's hundreds of different ways that you can meditate. There's breathing meditation, there's mantra meditation, there's guided meditation, just to name a few. But all of them do one thing in common. They teach us how to slow down the amount of thoughts entering our mind, as well as the speed of which thoughts enter our mind. And with practice,
I'm not that good that I can intentionally slow it down. It's just that that's what naturally happens in meditation. Is the first 10 to 20 minutes you'll have a good amount of thoughts coming in, and then in 20 to 35 minutes less, and then 35 minutes to an hour in is when you get that blissful state. When you practice it all the time, it might take an hour or an hour and a half in the beginning, but when you get good at it, like I got better at it over time, I was able to do that around like minute 30 or 40 or 45 or whatever. Like in between 30 and 60 minutes is usually when I could hit that empty space where you're just in and then you can go beyond that, which is entering like what I would call the blissful state, where you just feel like I literally saw a white light that was unlike anything else, and I went towards it instead of went, no, I don't want it. I said, yes, yes, I need to get closer, and the light got closer, or I got closer, I don't know which one. Then that light encompassed my whole being and took over all of me, and I was not like, I could not go like this to see my hand or anything, even if I wanted to at that point, because the light took me over. I became part of that light, and I just felt like this, like, and like all positive emotions, like, and all fear or worry was gone, as if it wasn't even a concept. And when I came out of that meditation, tears were already down my eyes, and I had no recollection that I had been crying or water or tears were coming down. Like how, this is the depths that you can reach. And no, I did not use any drugs. The only thing I was doing at that point was a little bit of cannabis, like regularly throughout the day or whatever, but not on anything. No, dude, you don't need shrooms to get these mystical experiences. You have the power. It dwells within your body. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, the temple of God. You understand this?
you can even reach points where you have no thoughts for short periods of time. And this is why meditation has so many benefits. When you think less, you become more in control of your emotions. When you practice meditation, you're basically teaching your mind how to turn off your thoughts like a switch. So the next time somebody steps on your shoe and you start thinking, how rude, you can just turn it off. You can control whether or not you want to get mad. On top of that, when you think less, you start spending less time in your head and more time outside. And you start noticing things. Trees are brighter, the birds are beautiful, you'll notice flowers on the floor. You'll become less involved with your thoughts and more involved with the real world. And that is the beauty of meditation.
That's great. There's
Frankly,
another one.
I'm tired of pretending that waiting for.
No, we're not dealing with it. I told you it's all that's going to come up is that stuff. But anyways, watch this. If I go back one, okay? No, close that. So, how did I get to it last time? Work with me here. Um, Improvement pill. Oh well, I'll just do that for now, yo. And this is crazy, yo. I was gonna do another one of improvement pill, but maybe I will. But I'll put this up on its own for now because I'm just like, I'm not seeing it. There was another one that was about it, but I don't see it anymore. So I'll look for it. I'm trying to just get through all this silliness. Oh, there we go. I could just end the video now. All right, guys. So until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see all of you in the next reaction video. Thanks so much. Until next time, just know that I love you all. Peace.